Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So we're in Variant 2, that's Mystery in the Micro Realms, and we're on the second quest of the final chapter, so that's 3.2. We've only got 2 more to go. Alright, so you can see the buffs that are active, and there are 3 global nodes that I have talked about in my previous videos, but I want to make sure, just in case someone hasn't seen the previous videos, that I mention them again in each video. So the 3 global buffs that you're going to want to be aware of: Micro Reflect, Size Matters, and Particle Protector. So Particle Protector gives every defender a glancing ability. It's like 85% chance to glance your attacks. Micro Reflect will reflect damage back to you when you glance an attack, or when one of your attacks are glanced. Size Matters is your salvation, because the different sizes of the champions affect which attacks can be glanced. So a small attacker, heavy attacks cannot be glanced, but everything else, intercepts, specials, regular attacks, they're all glanced, or have a chance to be glanced. A medium, heavy attacks, and intercepts cannot be glanced. Large, heavy, intercepts, and specials cannot be glanced. And then extra large, none of their attacks can be glanced. So if you have a extra large champion, you want to bring them in unless you want to have to deal with those glancing abilities. Now, I don't have a robust extra large champion roster, but you can make do. All right, you can change up your style and choose champions that have strong heavy attacks. Now, for this path, we chose the poison vulnerability path. All right, you can see right there. Archangel, as you guys may know, can poison. All right, so not only can he poison, but he has a very strong heavy attack. So you can parry heavy your way to victory. Even though he's not an extra large champion, it doesn't matter, because heavy attacks can never be glanced. Now, sometimes I forget and I'll throw a heavy, or rather I'll throw a regular attack or something like that in, and more than likely I'll get it glanced and, you know, take that damage back. Right there, don't ask. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. I just messed up, got hit with his heavy, and it was all she wrote. Alright, so we lost our Archangel, which was unfortunate, because he is great for the poison vulnerability path. So another champion that I used that was also an MVP is Hyperion. Hyperion has a very strong heavy attack. It builds up his Furies, and that makes him hit so much harder. I mean, I got 7 Furies up right now, and you can just see the damage that his heavies are doing. He also has a passive power gain, so he can build up to his special 3 very quickly. And with all those Furies, he does a lot of damage, as you can see. Alright, so Hyperion, also very good. He's a large champion, I believe, so you can intercept if you want. You can intercept with your specials as well. Now, again, I got caught there. I was having a lot of trouble in Variant with my evades and timing and all of that. But Hyperion, he was up for the task. I was able to get out of at least some of that attack, and down he goes. Hyperion's special 1 is awesome. Now, I'm running suicides, so I can't spam Hyperion's special 1 unless I want to get taken out by recoil. When I did come back through here for exploration, I did turn my suicides off, and it was so much better. So I recommend, if you want to go through here with suicides, that's fine, but know that you're going to use more resources and you'll be even more handicapped than you would be if you just had some extra large champions. You know, if you have extra large champions like Venom, Venom is great for this quest. Now, for this particular quest, I didn't mention it, but you may have seen there was another global node. If you have a Groot or a King Groot, both of them are extra large, but they get an additional advantage for this particular quest, and you can read up. If I remember correctly, anytime you proc a regen, they get poison. So they already have poison vulnerability. And King Groot especially, because, you know, he gets a regen on a timer. Every time he gets that regen, basically it's a bad day for the defender because he does a lot more damage. Okay, so when they're poisoned, they take a lot more damage. Try it. If you have a ranked up King Groot for whatever reason, he is great for this particular quest. Groot also is pretty good. I tried bringing in a low-level King Groot, and he did better than I thought he would. My King Groot, I think, is rank 3 as a 4-star. And I was actually able to beat at least one opponent with him, but I was like, you know what, this is too much work. I'm just going to go in here with Archangel, Hyperion, and just, you know, do it regularly, and had a much easier time, honestly. Hyperion is a beast. All right, so here we're fighting Red Skull, and you'll notice my style is going to be pretty much the same throughout when I'm using Hyperion. It's going to be parry, heavy, build up the Furies. When you have a special 3, you fire it off. Okay? The other thing that you need to be concerned with on these nodes is that brute force, so you need to play aggressively. If you don't hit them after a while, you're going to start taking degen damage. All right? You can see the timer up there, and as long as you're playing aggressively, you're all right. But anytime you have to bait out a special, like here I'm trying to bait out a special, I had to hit him or else I was going to take degen. All right, and I don't want to push him to his special 2. So now what to do? Fortunately, he fired off that special 1, which the AI does like to do, because when they're firing off the special 1, of course you can't hit them, and if you're already taking degen damage because you haven't hit them in a while, well, now you're taking even more damage. So they will fire off that special 1 defensively, especially when that timer gets down. All right, so kind of expect that. All right, and there I just either messed up timing. Like I said, I have had a lot of issues fighting Invariant. They fixed some of them. Some of them they did acknowledge, and they fixed in an update. But the timing was off. The AI fought very differently, very passively, defensively. It was very annoying. But for this initial run, I was learning a lot of this stuff. Okay? And there is a bug. I don't know if they fixed it. I've not been brave enough to try it. But when you fire off your special 3, yeah, I'm better now at evading his special 2. I can actually evade all of his special 2 now. But at that time, it wrecked me and I got tired of it, and that's why I started practicing it. But in any case, when you fire off a special 3, if you are holding block or trying to swipe back a little too early, you will lose control of your character for a little bit of time. They'll either run forward or just stand there while you take hits, and they'll be completely non-responsive. The solution that I found was just not to touch your screen and wait until the special 3 animation is over. Then you can do your swipe back. So you just have to wait. Now, they may have fixed it by the time I'm doing this recording. I don't know. I haven't tested it recently. I've just gotten into the habit of not touching my screen when I fire off a special 3. All right. So Red Skull, he's down. And I hadn't used any units other than for energy refills. And the initial clear, so far, no units other than the energy refills, which I don't really count because I don't have to use them. if I just want to wait. So the only reason that I'm using them is because I don't want to wait. AQ, I believe, was down, and AW, so I had a little bit of time. All right, so here we go. And it's annoying to get ambushed. It really is. And we're getting ambushed by Yellow Jacket, who we're going to have to fight as the boss as well. All right, so fighting with Blade, what you want to do is parry a lot. Okay? You parry and just get those bleeds on him, as you see there. So if your parry game is tight, you're good. All right, now every once in a while I'll fire off my special, because as they're bleeding, I am building up power faster. Okay, you get a power buff when you're nearby to them when they're bleeding. And the special one puts a longer bleed than the bleed for your parry. And because I'm running suicides, in my suicide build, I don't max out deep wounds. So firing off that special one is very, very, very useful. Okay? You get a longer bleed, and that's why you see me there. And since Blade can regen, it's all good. I can fire off the special one, take the recoil damage, and just keep healing back up. And if I get too far to the left, if he backs me up into the corner, Blade's heavy attack gives a lot of distance. I love it. So pretty much that is what I did for this fight. All right, pretty boring. Let's speed it up. But Blade saved me units. Even though the fights went on for a little bit longer, because all I could do was pretty much parry and throw heavies, and every once in a while fire off that special one. Because he could heal up, I was able to reuse him over and over again. So I actually recommend bringing Blade in, even though he's not an extra large champion. I think he's medium, if I remember correctly. All right, so here we go. Finally, we got that ambusher down. And next up, we're going to fight a Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. I do not like fighting Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. He seems to evade at the worst times. All right, so again, you can see the buffs that are active. And he does have poison vulnerability, just like all of them in that path. And if I still had my Archangel, we would just tear all of this up. And I actually considered reviving my Archangel to finish out this path. And I probably should have, but I was being stubborn, and I wanted to see how far I could go without needing to revive. But I was pretty sure I was going to revive him when I fought the boss. But, you know, there was a chance that I wouldn't have to. Now, you saw me taking a lot of shots to the face. Fortunately, Captain America Infinity War has such a high block proficiency, and he's very defensive. All of that didn't do a whole lot of damage to me. Anyone else, and I probably would have just gotten taken out. So I love how tanky he is. I was able to evade some of that special too, not all of it. I've been able to do it before, but I did not want to risk trying that this time. All right, but he's going down pretty well. Look at that crit, and down he goes. And I didn't farm up a lot of potions for this, but I did have a lot of revives. So I actually preferred to use revives over the potions, because I would use those up pretty quickly, and then I would have to use some units. All right, finally, we are on the final boss. Now, the thing about this final boss, for me, two things: limber and encroaching stun. Those two buffs were the most annoying, because remember, I don't have extra large champions, so I've got to fire off heavies. And how I get my in is to parry. But with Limber, I'm not going to be able to do that for very long. All right? So I already know it's going to be a bad time. Every time I parry him, he recovers a little bit faster until I'm not going to be able to get my heavies in unless I can fire off my heavy and counter his heavy with my heavy. And there goes that encroaching stun. So encroaching stun on a timer, you're going to get stunned. But if you're executing a special when the stun timer runs down, you don't get stunned. So you have to time it so that you're firing off your special. But remember that unless you have an extra large champion or a large champion, firing your specials off, you can get glanced. So this fight is a really bad day for small and medium champions. All right, so I brought in Omega Red thinking this should help me out a little bit. I was looking to get my in, but I parried him, and before I could fire off my special, encroaching stun wore down, and I got stunned. He came out of it earlier than I did and wrecked me. Good times, good times. But it's all good. I'm just going through my champions because I know I'm going to most likely end up having to revive my Archangel. You know, he's going to be the MVP for this fight. I knew that going in, so I was kind of upset that I lost him early because it almost guaranteed I was going to have to use a revive to bring him back. But I was hoping maybe I could take him down with someone else, but no. Archangel of my team is the MVP. Now, I could have used Hyperion, but because I was running suicides, the intercepting with my special one, which could also work, wouldn't have been viable unless I was planning on healing up a lot. All right, so finally, we just revived and we brought back Archangel. Now, here's something that I don't know if a lot of you guys realize, but Archangel's neurotoxins can shut down the encroaching stun. All right, so I've got 4 neurotoxins up, right? So look at the timer here. Look at that. I did not get stunned. Now, I did fire off the special just because I was nervous, but I wouldn't have gotten stunned because my neurotoxins actually shut down the encroaching stun. At this time, I was learning that because this is the first time I've actually gone against this boss with Archangel. All right, so I was like, Archangel actually did some good work there. Look at that. So there was no way I was going to revive anybody else. And as you can see, I have level 3 revives maxed out. So I had revives to use. So I wasn't too worried about that. And so I'm just like, all right, Archangel can definitely do it. It's a little RNG. You know, we definitely want to get those neurotoxins up. But we got them up. And the more we have, the more likely we are to shut down. And then I get caught by his special one, which was a little annoying. But we got him down anyway. All right, so that was quest number 2. We have 1 more to go. And then we are done with our initial clear. So that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully this helps you out. When you do your run, click like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. And you guys have a blessed day.